Hey guys, it's Soraya here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a November TBR video. Now the reason I'm doing this is for two reasons, because as you will probably know, I'm very much a mood reader. I very much not only, but for the most part, I tend to read the books that I want to read. I don't do well with TBRs, and I don't do well with not knowing what I'm going to read either. Now that sounds very like I got my wires crossed somewhere. Now the reason why I say that is because when I don't okay, so basically for my yearly goal, I have finished all of the books. My yearly goal, if you watched my goal video, was 182 books. Now I have read 100 as of today. Today is the 29th of October, and I have read 190 books. So obviously I finished 182 books, and then I upped my goal to 200 books because I said, oh, well, now I finished my goal, I can go slower. Well, me not thinking about it, that I finished my goal in the very beginning of October, I am pretty much going to be up on my next goal as well, which is my own thing. I read a lot, so it is what it is. And also lately I've been reading more, which I think is just because I'm kind of stressed, so I tend to read more. So I've been reading like 20 plus books. Usually I average around between 14 and 17 books a month. Lately I've been reading 20 to 25, maybe more a month. As of right now, I'm at 24 books for the month of October. So, with that being said, I want to kind of try to force myself to slow down a little bit. We'll see how it goes. But when I have a TBR, I tend to read very slowly. So hopefully in the month of November that will be the case, and I'll just be able to slow down a little bit, because I feel like I'm rushing, and then I feel a lot of pressure because I have school and work and just a lot of things going on right now. So I want to slow down a little bit. So I have here a little jar with all of the prompts in there. I don't even know if I've done like a TBR video to show you guys, probably not. But when I don't know what to pick, I pick one of these. So in here is just a bunch of little folded pieces of paper, and it's just a bunch of prompts that I put into a candle jar that I had sitting around. And I just go in here and I pull out a prompt and then find a book that way. Now, what I mean by I don't always know what to read, so I kind of fail in that way, is if I don't know what I want to read, then I'll read nothing. So even though I'm telling you I've read over 20 books, I have also gone like a full week without reading, if that makes sense. So when I do read, I tend to read 5 or 6 books at a time. Which is mostly like when I'm working. So I work the second half of the week. So usually Monday through Friday I don't really read, or if I read, I'll only read 1 or 2 books. And then over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, which is when I work the most hours. Like I work Thursday and Friday as well, but I don't work as much, so I don't read as much. But over Saturday and Sunday, where I tend to work 8 to 10 hours, I tend to read anywhere from 2 to 4 or 5 books a day, mostly because I'm on the bus, so I'm listening, I'm at work, so I'm listening, and then when I take my break, I'm actually reading. So it's just a lot of reading. So anyway, that being said, let's just go ahead and get started, and I'll stop rambling. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna do 5 or 6 of these, and we'll see where we go from there, because I don't want to do too much and then I completely stop reading because I feel pressured. So we'll start with the first one. Let me see. And I don't really remember the prompts in here. I remember some of them, but not all of them, because I made this a while ago and then I've used it like here or there. So we'll just see what we get. Yeah. Okay. So this one says, if you can see, it'll show you. set in the present. Alright, so this prompt says set in the present, and for this one I'm actually going to read Breaking Mr. Cain by Shanora Williams, and so I'll like put it right here so you guys can see it. But so I read Wanting Mr. Cain a couple of weeks ago, like a week or two ago, and I really liked it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would, and part of that has to do with I read Mr. Black, like Dear Mr. Black, and I liked it. It was okay, but it wasn't my favorite book. But I read Mr. Cain and I really, really liked that one. So I think that's going to be book number 1. So this follows a girl who she's kind of always been in love with her dad's best friend, and there are like circumstances why he is her dad's best friend, even though there's like a bit of an age gap between the two of them. But basically she's always been in love with him. Some things happen and she ends up in a secret relationship with him, and at the end of book 1 things kind of all fall apart and they blow up in their faces. So I'm interested to see what happens in book 2, because book 1 kind of blew up everything. So we'll see what happens, but that is book 1. And then, so book number 2, let's see what the prompt is. I don't know, I kind of want to go to the bottom. I have no clue what this is going to be though. Oh, if I can grab it. I got it in my hand, kind of. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. So prompt number 2 is recommended. Okay. So for recommended, I have a few books that I could pick for this. I'm not sure which one I want to pick, so hold on a second. Because I actually had a couple of books that I wanted to... Oh, I never read that. Okay, never mind. I completely changed my mind. So for prompt number 2, I'm going to read Devil of Dublin by B.B. Easton. Now this one has been everywhere. It's literally been all over my Instagram, all over YouTube. Everybody's been loving it. I've had a bunch of people recommend it. I really, really want to read it. I wanted to read it as soon as I saw like the first like ads and stuff for it. And that was before it even came out. I do have it. I just haven't read it yet, but I really want to read that. So that is going to be my book number 2. So now for book number 3. See what we got here. This is 2. It is. I'll take one off. And oh, okay. This is actually pretty good. I'm not mad at this. So 5-star prediction. Ooh. Oh, this would have been so good for my last book. Okay. I don't know. Oh, yes I do. Okay. So for 5-star prediction, I'm actually going to put in Hollow Heathens by, oh, who wrote it? I can't even think right now. You'll see it. I just don't. Nicole Fiorina. So this one I know is a dark, I think it's like a park school or something. I don't know. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the synopsis. I do have the audio for it, but I haven't read it. Tales of Weeping. So it says, once upon a time there lived a girl named Fallon who was taken far away from home shortly after she was born. A home that held more than strange traditions and bizarre superstitions. 24 years later, she returned to Weeping Hollow, a town she'd only heard about in stories during restless nights, under a marble moon to take care of her last living relative. They called the nosy mortician a freak show, a ghastly thing. They said I couldn't go near her. Still, there was this aching pull to Fallon Grimaldi that I couldn't escape. A nostalgic pull as if we'd been here before. Once upon a time there lived a mysterious boy named Julian with a curse as old as centuries wrapped around his soul. He was one of the 4 hollow heathens, the very dark creatures who caused the townspeople to live in fear. They called him a monster, cold and hollow. They said I shouldn't go near him. Still, there was this aching pull to Julian Blackwell that I couldn't escape. A nostalgic pull, as if we'd been here before. It's a standalone, but it's like interconnected with another series. I thought so. So, yeah. It sounds like something I would love. It actually sounds very similar to Gothicana, which is one of my favorite books. I gave it a 5-star. I read it last year. So that is my 5-star prediction. I'm really hoping I love it because I've heard so much about it. I've wanted it for a long time and now I have it. So I really, 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 really want to like it. So we'll see what it goes. So book number 4. Okay. Which is... okay. This is like throwing a wrench in everything. It's probably a good thing because I do have a book that I need to get through. Oh wait, hold on. I'm making that up. I actually have the perfect book for this. Anyway, I should probably tell you what it says. It says big book, over 500 pages. So, let me see, because I think I know the book. Hold on, I'm currently reading something else. Okay, so this is a book. I've had it for a while, and I don't know. I've gone back and forth on whether I wanted to read it. So it's Sinner's Playground by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti, and it's 625 pages, which is part of why, because their books are like tomes. They're so long. But I've wanted to read it for a long time. I've had it sitting in my in my Kindle for a long time, in my Kindle app, really. And so I guess this is time to read it. I might cheat and get it on Audible because sometimes a book, physically reading it for that long, I'll lose interest. So we'll see. I'll probably start off reading it and then kind of see how I'm feeling about it, but I don't know. So I'll have to see about that one. But yeah, so Sinner's Playground by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. I've been in like my reverse harem phase. So this follows a girl named, I think her name is Ivy. Hold on, let me check. Actually, it doesn't say what her name is. But anyway, so she was running out of this town by these 4 guys, and she thought that they loved her, and then they all betrayed her, and now she's back to kind of figure out, well, not to figure out anything, she's back to ruin their lives, I should say. So, yeah. I don't know. That's all I know. We'll see how it goes. I might hate it, but I'm hoping I love it. But that's my big book. Alright. And then one more, I think. So let's see. I'm like digging all the way in the bottom, like there's going to be something special down here, but it's not. Alright, let's see. Oh, okay. Dang. This would have been good for like October, but that's fine. So my last prompt is demons. And I don't know. This one I don't know. I had some books with demons in them, but I don't know if I want to read. Hold on, let me think about it, because I might just pick like an MC book where the character's name is Demon. Kind of. Or like the character is like the embodiment of a demon. Hold on, we'll see. Ooh. Okay. So this one I've kind of like bent the rules just a little bit. So I'm gonna read Outcast, which is the 3rd book in the Badlands series by Natalie Bennett, and this one follows a guy called Grim, because he's like the Grim Reaper, and you don't know who the heroine is. I kind of have an idea of who I think it's gonna be, but for now you don't know who the heroine is. They don't give you a name. And basically this series follows like a dystopian world where you have this group called the Deviants, or they're like Satanists, and then you have this other group that's kind of like a cult, and they own this place called the Badlands. And I don't want to give too much away because I read the first 2 books this month and the very beginning of this month, and they were my favorite books like almost ever. They kind of give me the vibes of the O'Kane series, and I can't think of who the authors are, which is kind of shameful because I have a hoodie with it on there, but it reminds me exactly of that series, and I love that series. I read all the books. I flew through it like ages ago, but that's exactly what it gives me the vibes of, but almost grittier. I want to say less sex, but it doesn't have less sex. It's just more, it's darker. It's definitely darker. So yeah, that is my 5 books for this TBR. Maybe I'll pick one more. I'm trying to think. I'm pressuring myself. I don't want to put too much on myself though. Alright, let's do one more. We're gonna do one more because I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. Hopefully I finish them all. That's the plan anyway. I don't know what the heck we're doing. No, probably not. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. That was not expected. So the last one is auto by author. Alright. So I have a few auto by authors. So one of them is Gianna Darling, Amo Jones, Tilly Cole, who else? I'm trying to think. Oh, it's so hard to put me on the spot. I'm trying to think who else. My favorite authors. This should not be so hard. I feel pressured. I don't know. I don't know anybody else right now. Okay, so let me think, because I've kind of put like a lot of my favorite authors on this TBR already. Oh, I know. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna pick up The Losers, which is the sequel to The Dare, and it just came out a couple weeks ago, and I have it, but I haven't read it yet. So this one follows, I think her name's Jess, and she was like a popular girl in school. She got everything she wanted, and then she ends up going off to college, and when she comes back for like a party, she runs into kind of like the school misfit, but him and her had their own kind of like special relationship, and she ends up like losing a bet and ends up being like his slave for the night, and some like sexcapades happen, things go on anyway. And then in The Losers, it's kind of a little bit of a time gap in between that, and it's her and his friend, so it's a little bit of a reverse harem type thing. But yeah, I think that's it. That's what I'm gonna pick, because I've wanted to read it, I just haven't picked it up yet. So that is that. And I read The Dare this month, last month, one of those two. I don't know. You'll see it in a wrap up. But anyway, so yeah, that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe if you want to. And as usual, I'll leave all of the books linked down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.